Hey everyone, it's Claudia. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about pruning. This is a Glen mango tree that I brought this summer. It is hardy to 20 degrees, and although in my area it seldom gets below 20 degrees, I am going to overwinter it in my greenhouse, just in case we happen to have one of those winters when things get to be a little lower than that. Before I put it in the greenhouse though, I am going to go ahead and prune it. Now there are 5 reasons why we prune things. Reason number 1 is we want it to develop a strong trunk, as well as strong branches. This tree has no branches, which is why I want to prune it, because that's reason number 2. Reason number 2 is you prune to force a tree to put out side shoots and develop branches. Number 3, you prune to fight disease. Disease happens a lot when the branches overlap, as well as when the branches have leaves and the leaves don't have enough air circulating. Without sufficient air circulating, what happens is disease have the opportunity to spread easily between the branches. Another reason is you want to mitigate damage in the event of a storm. If there is a storm that comes through, because I do take my trees out the greenhouse in the summer, I don't want a branch to break because it didn't have enough strength. A lot of times if a tree has too many branches or they're not branched in the right location, they're more susceptible to damage in the event of high winds or a storm. So I want to make sure that I prune well for that. Another one you want to do is you want to make sure, so we talked about disease, we want to talk about development, we talked about the branching, we want to talk about the fact that if you do not prune your tree, you will end up with a tree that's misshapen. You want your tree to generally have a nice shape to them and not just look like who did it in rain, you know? You want to have a nice shape to your tree, so you prune to achieve that shape. You don't want to excessively prune though, because if you do that, you could end up with a tree that goes into shock. I am going to cut probably right about here, and that may seem like a lot because I'm cutting off about 2 feet of this tree, but I'm cutting it at 4 feet so it can begin branching here, because it's still going to grow back to probably around 7 or 8 feet is probably where I'll top it off and leave it. But I want to be able to cut and know that when I cut it, it's going to promote growth, at the same time go up some. So that's what I'm going to do today, and I'm taking you along for my journey. These loppers are my husband's, but I love them because they're easy to use. They're like spring-loaded, awesome stuff. So I'm putting it right at the part where I want it to go. And I'm going to nice clean cut, and that's what you're looking for. You want to make sure your loppers are sharp and that they have been treated for any disease that may have come upon them on another tree you may have cut. My husband cleans his every time he uses them, so now that I've used it, I've got to clean it. And typically we use a bleach solution to kill whatever may be on here. We do like straight up bleach with just a little bit of water. The stronger the better. It cleans everything and removes any damage that may be there. Now that I've pruned the tree, I'm going to put it in the greenhouse and wait until spring to see what it does. All along the journey of this tree growing, I will be checking and reassessing and repruning as needed to develop the shape that I want. I also want to make sure I check for disease and make sure that it does what I want it to do. So we go from 6 feet to 4 feet, but I promise you by next summer it'll look like a totally different tree. Don't be afraid to cut the trees. Sometimes it needs to be pruned in order to get the shape you're looking for, the strength you're looking for. It preserves the integrity of the tree. If this video has been useful to you, I'd like you to click the like button, and I'd like you to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, see you later.